Good morning and welcome back to Morning Markets. Today we'll be focusing on bank profits and why they are grabbing headlines. Global banks were in focus yesterday as there were fears over the financial health reappeared. We'll be discussing what the main points were and what the market reaction was. Starting with the US, they were in focus as the major credit rating agency Moody's downgraded 10 mid-sized US banks due to fears over profitability, but also recognizing the deposit outflows that they have suffered year to date. Remember, back in March, the banking sector within the US, particularly regional smaller banks, were coming under quite a bit of stress as they were suffering deposit outflows, as depositors were moving their money to areas where they could receive a higher return from their savings and placing their money within money market funds. Regional banks were challenged by that and they were having to crystallize losses on their bond portfolio in order to meet future deposit outflows. Confidence was low and therefore the Federal Reserve, the US central bank, had to step in order to improve confidence levels, and they have been relatively successful in restoring order within the banking sector. As you'd expect, the market performance was negative yesterday, down over 1%, but we actually saw a rally in global government bonds, and therefore from a multi-asset portfolio perspective, they'd provided adequate diversification, which you'd hope for. But we have to remember just the performance of banking stocks over the last few weeks has been relatively strong, actually reporting better corporate results for the second quarter than what analysts had been expecting. European banks were also in focus yesterday. The Italian government announced a 40% windfall tax on the profits that Italian banks had been making. Italian banks had been making stronger profits because of higher interest rates, putting up interest rates to a greater degree on their corporate loans and not putting up interest rates to the same extent on the savings rates for depositors. The spread between the two is the bank's profits. So the Italian government stepped in and have proposed putting taxes or greater taxes on them. It's expected to generate around 2 to 3 billion euros worth of funds. It could be higher looking at the estimates from investment banks. So it is significant. And the share price reaction was negative yesterday. We've actually seen a bit of a recovery this morning, and that's following a clarification from the government and officials last night who said that the tax would not be as severe for some of the banks and it would be no more than 0.1% of the bank's assets. But this is just a reminder of the unintended consequences of higher interest rates, and that's still being felt across the global banking system. That's everything from us today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.